Speaking of America's Got Talent,
Yeah.
I want to ask you about that experience.
Okay.
What was that like? Like, how'd you get into it? And then, what was it like filming it? Like, how did it all come to be?
I did. I did stand-up comedy for 10 years, and then I was very poor and desperate. And then I had the opportunity to audition, and I was like, "No, I'm not going to do that. Why would I do that?" I'm like, and because it's scary, because that crowd is like trained to, if they like you, stand up and clap, and if they're trained, if they don't like you, to go boo.
Right.
And I don't need that. That'd make me sad.
Yeah.
My feelings would be hurt. I would be destroyed, honestly. And then judges include like Howard Stern and Howie Mandel, like some of my comedy heroes. I don't need to have them go, "I don't think you're good at what you do." Like, I would be destroyed. There's just a lot of risk of being absolutely destroyed. As we discussed, it's not one of my things I enjoy. And but then I got really, really desperate, and then I went on it, and it went pretty well, and I'm so lucky and grateful. Yeah, I got second place. I lost to a Japanese dancer from Japan, as you do.
Of course.
As it happens. I don't, when you do America's Got Talent, you lose to a Japanese guy sometimes, but he's my friend, and
that's awesome.
I made a friend.
Yeah.
I made a few friends, and it was really special. I got to travel around on another level that I hadn't experienced before, and sell lots of tickets and do that whole kind of thing, and it opened a bunch of doors for me. And I'm talking to you guys, and I got a dog now. It's good,
I love the dog. You met our mascot, Penny.
Beautiful dog.
What was you showed her the photo of you and Heidi Klum, right?
Yeah.
How did that? What was that? How'd you get that photo? That's
So on the show, she's one of the judges,
Yep.
and then she didn't. In like the third round, like the first live episode, she was like, "You're not appropriate for children, and I didn't think you're funny," kind of thing. And it was pretty gnarly, honestly, because like this is 10 years ago, and like I was just like, this is my first time on live TV on NBC, family show. The show was like as big as it ever was, and I'm just like, did I destroy families? Like, my joke, my little stupid joke I told, like, are parents covering their kids' eyes? Are they scarred for? I'm literally thinking these things. Like, I felt horrible. Like, I felt really bad, and like, but that led me to getting pushed through to the next round, though, because if she had said, "You're funny," if all the judges were like, "You're funny, you're funny, you're funny," you don't go through, because controversy. People booed her for saying what she said about me.
okay.
So it made people go, "I don't, you know what? It's like wrestling.
Rooting for you.
Like, I vote for you. You know what? Boo her. I support him,
Right.
So it pushed me through. I genuinely don't think I would have gone through if she had liked me, because I see great comedians go on the show and they get 4 yeses, standing ovation. They don't go through.
Wow.
It helped me out. So then the next round, I did a whole act of like tongue in cheek, like child friendly jokes. And I took my jokes and spun them to be cutesy, but then the punchline is like PG-13, like
Right.
dirty, but family friendly dirty.
Playing into it.
Yeah. So, and I got a big reaction out of that. And then that became my shtick on the whole season, is just trying to impress Heidi Klum. Then I got her to love me. And then
yeah.
I went back on the show and we did silly skits and stuff, and kissed her on the mouth. No big deal, And,
Yeah, super jealous.
so like even now, like years later, people go like, "Where's Heidi?" Like at shows, and I'm like, "Oh, she's in the car. I don't know."
She's waiting for me.
Yeah. But I have a career thanks to her playing along with all that stuff. So she was really I was surprised in my life. I didn't think when I was a kid that Heidi Klum would be a big vessel to my dreams coming true.
That's amazing.
And she's funny and silly and cool and rad. And I think these judges, they're playing characters too on these shows. It is wrestling. Like, I'm a wrestling fan, and like, they can't all just be nice. Like, someone needs to be the Simon Cowell. Someone needs to play dumb, I don't know, comedy. Someone needs to be the supporter of weird things, and like,
yeah, different archetypes, kind of.
Yeah, like you get to make the show entertaining. The show's not entertaining if the judges are just polite the whole time.
Right.
I don't think I could do a job like that. I mean, if they offered me, I'd say yes in a heartbeat. But I think it would be hard for me to tell people, like, on a really vulnerable moment in their life, no, not good,
Yeah.
Like, so it's a weird position to be in for everybody,
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that is crazy to think about too, like how big the show is and how much exposure it is, and the vulnerability, right, of like expressing yourself and doing your work in front of not only the TV crowd but the actual crowd.
Yeah.
And then the judges, right? It does seem like a lot to take in.
It's very odd because you do have to get the audience on your side, then the judges on your side, and then you have to get the audience at home to support you.
Yep.
So it's like, how do you? I mean, it's bizarre, and I don't think I could do it today, honestly. And I'm a better artist than I've ever been, and I have more confidence in myself as an artist. But that setting for me is, it's not healthy for me. It wouldn't be healthy for me to go on. I don't have the desperation that I had, and the healthy, necessary level of desperation I had to go on the show at the time, you know? But now I just be like, I wouldn't think of funny ways to if they criticize me to deal with. I'd be like, all right, well, that's your opinion, you know?
Right.
Like, I don't have that energy to try to twist things into funny if they're mean to me. I'd be like, well, it's not kind of you to say that, but that makes you feel better to say that. That's okay. You know what I mean? I think I'm healthy now.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's a hard, I don't know how to answer it like in one sentence, but
timing, right? Like I think that's that thing that happened to you at the right time, and everything in your life was clearly lined up for that to give you success now today that you have. But desperation is a funny thing, man. It'll make you do some stuff that maybe give you some courage or false courage, I think, put you in a position to really succeed if you show up.
Yeah.
Like
I look back, I watched the audition video and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe the balls on this guy who had no balls. Like this, but I was just like, I have to.
Yeah.
But one thing that helped me in that whole thing is my shtick on stage. Now I think I'm myself. I'm a version of myself, which I like a lot. And I think that's the best a stand-up can be, is you are the same on stage and off stage, maybe the volume turned up, but it's authentically you. I think I'm authentically myself, but like I was always awkward on stage. And so when I was nervous, it just helped me.
Right.
People didn't know if I was doing a shtick or not. So it just helped me, made me likable, and it helped my jokes work, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how comedians who have to play confident, cocky on stage, I don't know how they survive in scenarios like that.
Right. Like a Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it's a bizarre setting, no matter what you're trained, no matter what your talent is, to go up on that thing, all the judgment and the bullshit behind the scenes that you're dealing with, and like the contracts and the months of pre-auditions and like the conversations with producers, like just because they tell you you're going through doesn't mean you're definitely going to go through.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a lawyer come up to you and say, just so you know, this is a TV show and we're gonna figure stuff out. Like it's a lot of nonsense happening. And so people, I don't know, from my experience, I feel like the people who are like uber confident are the least confident. Like they're putting on something, I think, or they're sociopaths. I'm not sure, because it's not a healthy scenario that anyone can train for and be comfortable in, you know?
Yeah, it's an interesting way of looking at it, right?
I don't know. That's what I think, but I don't know anything. Though.
Maybe more with comedy, right? Like a comedy is I feel like that is a very hard craft to step into, you know, especially because not everyone thinks every joke is funny or finding the right thing, but versus somebody who's doing like a physical act, like shooting a bow with your feet or something like that. You can miss, obviously, but it's the repetition, the practice with that, I think, is a little different than, you know, getting people worked up or entertained by your voice, you know. It's a little different. I think it's more difficult, in my opinion, than if I was doing, like, if I had to choose between playing football and acting, to me, playing football would be easier because it's all physical for me. Like, obviously there's a mental element of it, right? And you got to know how to like read people and do stuff on the field, but you're constantly working at that. And like physicality wise, I feel like it would be easier than trying to convince someone that I'm somebody else or some crazy Hulk Hogan, you know, like it's a different factor. I don't know. But so in that sense, I think comedy would be more difficult.
It's funny. And people do judge comedy on another level that is not fair. Like in this, and I do too, but people think that they can do it because everyone can tell a joke to their friend.
Right.
So there's people who, like, it's funny. There's a lot of circus people that do AGT, like brilliant Cirque du Soleil, like all these types of brilliant things. And it was funny talking to them because I watched them do the most amazing things I've ever seen in my life that I could never do if I dreamed of it, you know? But they would say to me unanimously, like, you go up there without anything, like, how do you do it? I'm like, are you kidding me? You just did 400 backflips on fire. Like, you know, but like
a ring of fire.
But they look at it like you don't have a thing. It's just you by yourself. Like you're naked on stage, you know? But like, but then the flip side of it is people can go, all he's doing is telling jokes. He just said some things out with his mouth. What is he doing? You know?
Right.
People feel so comfortable criticizing comedy, and then
try it.
Yeah, you know?
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to drop a like if you enjoyed the video.
And subscribe and hit the bell for a whole lot more to come.